Greetings, everyone. This is your man Nicholas Shephard from the Shephard Family Enterprise, Business Administration, and Information Systems Consultants. And what we're here today is to try to sort out some things concerning a major issue that's going on in the world today, and it is the Russian and Ukraine war. All right, and how it will impact all of us if it escalates on a larger scale that will pull in the United Nations. Okay, all right. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I would like to go over um, my introduction and my business structure so that you can see exactly what we do, what we have to offer, and everything like that. So let's sort of like get started. If you have a little patience with me, that we can get this thing on the road. Okay. All right. So let's get going. All right. So first of all, again, uh, I would like to thank you. This is our Intellectual Awareness Series 2, State of Awareness. My name is Nicholas Shephard of the Shepherd Family Enterprise, Business Administration, and Information System Consultants. And today's topic is Russian and Ukraine war. What do you think? Okay. Now, there has been a lot of debate about what's going on over in Europe. Okay, there's a lot of different things going on in Europe. Ukraine, the issue between Ukraine and Russia is nothing new. Okay, there's other things going over there in Russia. There's things going on in Germany. There's things going over there further east of Russia. There's conflicts going on all over Europe. Okay, and some of the things are in the highlight, some of the things aren't. Okay, but this particular situation is causing the world to actually change its focus, okay, on one particular area, which was the Middle East and Afghan, and Iraq, and somehow is switching from that region over to Europe. Now, why they're doing this, there's a lot of debate about that, but we'll get off of that in other series. But the main thing is that as I talk to everyone, I want everyone to understand the fact that I want you to have a broad perspective of what's going on. Okay. Now, I want the African Americans to understand the fact that what is going on, or what is going on in the Middle East, don't take away from that. Okay. And replace it with what's going on in the West, which is Europe. All right. Because the situation is going on in America concerning European Americans and African Americans or people of color. The whole description, even though the contour of it changes its shape, the same thing is going on in the Middle East and the same thing is going on in Europe. Okay. So there is a transition of things happening, but they're all the same. Okay. There are people being affected by a power. All right. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go off into the aspects of this. All right. So you get an idea. I'm not going to go off into the Saudi or the Middle Eastern part because that has been fabricated in the news and a lot of different things. We're going to focus on what's going on here in America between the people of color. All right. And that can be Indians, Chinese, Filipinos, whatever the situation is, African Americans, and the people of Europe. Okay. And I'm going to change I'm going to flip flop it. Okay. So you understand exactly what's going on over there in Ukraine and why Russia decided to take its move into Ukraine the way it did. Okay. So, um, what I would like to tell you right now is that what I'm doing is I am going into the Russian-Ukraine aspect of it. Um, I want you to understand that there's a lot of things going on um, in um, in Russia. There's a lot of things going on in America. There's a lot of things going on in the Middle East. Okay, and I have these different subtopics, right? But the main topic is going to be Russian and Ukraine war. What do you think? Then I have the topics, then I have the links, then I have subtopics, okay? And all these things that I have here is to create an image of what is going on. And I would like to explain to you that I am not a professional historian. I am not, nor am I a professional or expert at the information that I'm presenting to you. All I'm doing is giving you an ideal, okay? And you can come to your own conclusions by doing your own research. I really encourage all of you, after looking at my videos or any of my state of awareness videos, to go out and research the information yourself. I try to be as detailed as I can without fabricating anything or trying to pull anyone to any different direction. I try to give everyone a general idea where to go to get the information and try to stay on track, okay? And whenever you are researching anything, you always supposed to keep notes of what you're researching and try to keep the direction of your research in line with the subject matter, all right? So, and that is what I'm going to do today, all right? Again, this is Shephard Family Enterprise, LLC, Business Administration, and Information System Consultants. You can also go onto my website at www.shepherdfamilyenterprise.com, or if you want more information or more content about what's going on in the world today, you can go to our business blog site for business information and news at https www.tapatalk.com/groups/Shepherd Family. If you have any business concerns or how our organization, our consultants can actually can give you some type of advice or get with your organization so that you can acquire more information, or you need assistance um, structuring work rules and regulations, creating a different administrative process, or even bringing in people. You want to bring in people, IT individuals, to come in and help you um, create or a new database or understand a new database or create training material of anything of that nature, and other things. Just contact us. The consultation is free, and then we can negotiate after the fact if you need our services, the costs. Okay. All right. Okay. So now let's get on with our subject matter. And what the first thing I would like to do is basically um, bring into your view um, what's going on, right? Really, what's going on in Russia today. And there's a lot of different things happening. First of all, I want you to understand where's Russia and where's Ukraine, and where these two entities fall into place with each other. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, um, for those of you who do not know where Russia is, as you see, Russia is in the far east. I mean, excuse me, in the west, far west, and the region is pretty big. Okay, and the climate is a lot colder than the rest of the world. Okay, even though they have their summers, their summers are very mild and everything like that. All right. There's a lot of things been going on in this whole region over the course of history. Some of the things that drove the Europeans, that region, these regions, to to the Americas and around the world today. Okay, so another thing is that what we want to do, we want to find out where's Ukraine. Okay, and Ukraine is As you see here on the map is here. And we don't go onto internet, so we get a very blown up view, close up view of Ukraine and why these scenarios are taking place. And we're going to uh, talk about a lot of other different things that's, about Ukraine. Um, Also, what we're going to do, we're going to go into why the area that um, the Russians actually focus on, and we're going to find out if the situation that's going on in Ukraine is based on a larger picture, okay, of of something that happened in the past. All right. The only way we want to find out that if we look into historical facts, look at a lot of different things, see exactly what took place historically, and how did it impact the rest of the world. Okay. Um, there's a lot of different things starting from the Ottoman Empire um, long ago, and how the Russians and the Ottoman Empire was at war and what took place during that time. Okay. We just need to find out exactly what took place, why it took place, and how did that affect what's going on today. Okay. Also, we're going to look at another aspect of um, we're going to look at another aspect of Ukraine, and you know if Ukraine actually had a part in slavery. Okay, so um, we're gonna look at that as well and find out if that is one of the reasons why a lot of things is going on over there and stuff like that. We're gonna go out there to the internet. We're gonna look at these different things and we're gonna see exactly if these impacts, if this actually impact what Russia is doing today. Okay. And then we're gonna go off into some other video aspects, um, where we're gonna look at the ancient um, prehistory um, countries, okay, where Ukraine is now, and how the Ottoman Empire ruled a lot of a lot of these areas over here. Um, and then we're going to see if we can come up with some type of idea again how these things impact the way we see things today. Okay, so um, what we want to do basically is we want to, and I'm trying to make sure I have my stuff together, right? What we want to do, we want to make sure that um, what's going on is in line to um, what's supposed to be going on, right? Um, I don't want to distract anybody from anything or um, put anybody in a state of mind that we're not being sensitive to anybody's views. Also, what I like to do is I have a couple other things that we're going to be looking at, and I have this form or this paper. Basically what it is just I just went out and gathered some information. I'm going to be utilizing this reference or this guideline so that I can make sure that all the information that I'm describing to you is in sync to what we need to be talking about. Okay. Again, I encourage you to always go out and research your own information so you can come to your own conclusions of what is really going on in Afghanistan. I mean, excuse me, not Afghanistan, in Russia, and between Russia and Ukraine. Um, you know what I'm doing, like I say, I'm not a professional. All I'm doing basically is giving you an idea of what is going on. And once you see what's going on, hopefully you can try to uh, go back to these different websites and come up with your own conclusions. Okay. And then at the end, I'm going to give my ending statement. Okay. Um, should I write this down? Okay, get my ending statements, and after I get my ending statements, I'm going to close it out, and then we're going to go over some videos. Um, this right here. We'll go up here. Okay, then we can go over some videos. Okay, we got YouTube videos that we want to like to look at about um, historical, uh, um, African American relations with the West. And what I mean by the West, I'm talking about uh, Russia. Okay. Okay. I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Russia and Europe itself. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. All right. Um, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay. I don't know why these things turn off notifications. Okay, so let's get started. All right. Now, the first of all, what we're gonna do, again, I'm gonna go over my business website, and I have an introduction here that you can actually go into my website and you can actually listen to it. There's a video as you're about to hear right now, okay, that actually goes out and talks about that.
Greetings from the Shephard Family Enterprise LLC Business Administration and Information Systems Consultants. The Shephard Family Enterprise LLC Business Administration and Information Systems Consultants are looking for junior consultant trainees for part-time employment. Please send your interest and qualifications to shepherdfamilyenterprise@hotmail.com. Subject line: Consultant Trainee Request. From the CEO.
Okay.
Thank you for visiting our.
And then you can listen to that at your leisure. Okay, when you go to the site, you can listen to it while you're walking or you're driving your car, so that so you get an insight about what we're offering. Then we have a business structure and our business profile, and it talks about all the different things we have to offer. Okay, and you can contact us for more information pertaining to the different things by going out to our website. Okay. Then I have my business blog site, which you can go out and you can actually review the different things, the different world events. We have a lot of different forums pertaining to a lot of different things. You can go out there and you can participate in the forum. And if you get with me, um, I can create an area just for you and in your subject matter, and then you can go ahead and create your own crowd. Now, by all means, if you would like to do that and have as a central point that you can grab information from individuals, and then once you grab information from individuals and create your own webinars, everything like that, feel free to do so. I'm not going to penalize you for that, but I do request that you at least donate to our effort if you're going to start doing that. Okay. And then we're moving on. Okay. Um, again, uh, the purpose of this we just want to find out, okay, more about Russia, okay. And as you see here on the map, Russia is in the far west, okay. And as you see here, Russia has a large area of control. Okay, they actually run a lot of this stuff, right? Now, in this particular region right here, which they have become alliance with, so a lot of them have become an alliance with England, and they are protected from the Russian rule. Then you have Ukraine. Now, Ukraine have always been ruled, or have been under the influence of Russia, as far as Bulgaria, um, all these areas here. Um, Slovakia, Hungary, Austria, Croatia. All these areas have always been influenced by Europe. I mean, by Russia. Okay, Ukraine, it was also influenced, but they kind of like pulled away, right? And what I'm showing you here is that the reason why Russia is actually has actually invaded Ukraine, and it's because of this area here, right? And um, the area that is a concern is called um, the area of concern is called Crimea, Crimea, and it's Crimean. I'm gonna pronounce Peninsula, and we're gonna go off into that as well. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give you an idea of what's going on with that, but we're gonna keep moving. All right. Um, the first thing, and I want to make sure I'm in the structure in the line that keep it the subject matter in the direction I want to go. Um, the second thing is we went through here is Ukraine and slavery. Okay, and we want to find out whether or not if there was slavery in Ukraine, or if Ukraine participate um, in slavery, and if they did participate in slavery, um, what primarily was their source of slavery. And I looked at a lot of different things here in Ukraine's ancient past, whereas that they really didn't enslave African Americans, right? You understand at all? I didn't see anything unless it's a hidden, like the fact, anything like that. I'm quite sure they were people of color that were enslaved. I'm quite sure long ago they wouldn't call them Negroes or blacks, anything like that. They had a different name for them, and everything was based on regions. Um, so they were selected people based on those regions. Um, and the next thing that I would like to talk about is I would like to look into the Ukraine's religion. Okay, so it says here the religion in Ukraine is diverse, with a majority of the population adhering to Christianity. But believe that has nothing to do with why Russia has invaded there. Okay, so don't even put your mind in that area. Okay, religion has nothing to do with it. Okay, it's all about money. Okay, everything is all about money. So I'm just want everyone to understand the fact that there's a lot of different things that's going on out here, and unless you have um, an inside view of what's really going on, and you read this information, and um, see, and it says Crimean Tatars professing Islam present a significant part of the population of Crimea, which prior to 2014 was a subject of Ukraine, but has been since that year occupied by Russia. Okay, so you can understand is that as of 2016, without Crimea, where Muslims form 50% of the population, 2013 only Donbass maintains a larger community of Muslims compared to the other Ukrainian regions, 6%. Okay, um, since since before the outbreak of the war of I guess this Donbass war, is an armed conflict in the Donbas region of Ukraine, part of the broader Russia-Ukrainian war in March 2014, immediately following the Euromedian protest movement and subsequent revolution of dignity. This is 2014, but even more violently. So from that year onwards, there has been unrest between the pro-Ukrainian and pro-Russian religious groups in the country. Okay. All right. So, and like I said, you can go out here and you can look at all of this information, right? And then they talk about prehistoric times, which in which we're going to go off into that as well. Um, and pre historic times, stuff like that in Russia. There's a lot of different things going on, things that we don't understand, but at the same time, we try to put ourselves in the mindset that we do know, right? But as we're gonna go on and stuff like that and talk about a lot of these different things, um, they have been they have been a subject of Russia or the Ottoman Empire for hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay, so it's not like they came about and said, "Well, you know what? We're going to break away from Russia." Okay, Russia maintained this region. Okay, and then once they maintain the region through the wars, of course, they had to, let their grips off a little bit, but they still maintain a lot of control of a lot of different areas. Okay, but at the same time, things took a different shape over a course of time. Okay, so the thing is, whether or not we, the thing is whether or not Russia had a reason to go into um, that Russia have a reason to run up in Ukraine. Okay, so we're gonna go off into Crimea, Crimea. I guess how you pronounce it. Forgive me what it says here. Um, how to pronounce it? Let's see. It's gonna say it.
Crimea.
Crimea. It's called Crimea. Let me see. Did it catch it on this thing here? Let me see. Did it catch it? Did it catch it? Let me see. I just want to see did it catch the verbiage.
Crimea.
I'll make this. Come on now. All right. So if it did, it did. Hopefully it did. You know what I'm saying? It caught the how you pronounce it, right? So Crimea. So we're gonna look at that and we're gonna see exactly what's going on and try to find out if this particular thing, all right, Eastern Europe, um, whether or not it played a major role. Okay, so we're looking at, okay, so along the northern coast of the Black Sea, it has a population of 2.4 million, made of mostly ethnic Russians with significant Ukrainian and Crimea Tatar minorities. Okay, so this whole area, okay, is made up mostly of ethnic Russians and significant Ukrainian and Crimea Tatars, which are basically Muslims, right? Minorities. Okay. Now it says the peninsula is almost entirely surrounded by the Black Sea. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a new tab here so we can look at this, get a bigger view of this area. And as we can see, this is what Russia wants back. Okay, you know what I'm saying? This area is what Russia wants back, Crimea. All right, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, it was an annex of Russia. Okay, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna explain to you why. Okay. Okay. So Crimeans, okay, are the Turkic ethnic group and nation who are an indigenous people of Crimea. The information of whatever this word is, um, of Crimea Tatars occurred during the 13th, 17th centuries, uniting humans that appeared in Crimea in the 10th century with other peoples who ever inhabited Crimea since ancient times and gradually underwent Tartarization, including the Greeks, Italians, and the Goths. Okay. All right. Like I say again, you can go out there and read about this, and they also talks about almost immediately after the retaking of Crimea from the Axis forces in May 1944, the USSR State Defense Committee ordered the deportation of all the Crimean Tatars from Crimea, including the families of Crimea Tatars serving in the Soviet Army. The deportees were transferred in trains and boxcars to Central Asia, primarily to Uzbek. This is right here, right? This area here, okay. Um, and like I say, they was mostly Muslims. I think that's the only reason why they did that. They moved them just to, the balance of the country because Russia wanted them to be um, mostly Russian. Okay, like I say, this whole region was basically an annex of Russia. Okay, so Ukraine, all right, is a country in Eastern Europe. It is the second largest country by area in Europe after Russia. Okay, which is borders to the east and northeast. Ukraine also shares borders with this area to the north, right? Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary, okay, to the west, and Romania and Moldova to the south. And it has a coastline along the sea, okay, of Azov, whatever that is, in the Black Sea. Okay, it spans an area of um, 603 um, 603,628 kilometers, which is 23,000. I mean, 233,026 square miles, with a population of 43 million, and that's a lot of people, man. Okay, Ukraine is the eighth most populous country in Europe. The nation's capital and largest city is this area here. Okay, is the capital of the most populous city in Ukraine in the north central Ukraine along the Dnipro River. As of the 1st of January 2001, its population was 2,962. Oh, that's two. Oh my goodness, that's 2,962,180, making, oh, have you pronounced that word, the seventh most populous city in Europe. Okay, so the territory of modern Ukraine has been inhabited since 32,000 BC. During the Middle Ages, the area was a key center to Eastern Slavic culture. Um, with the loose tribal federation of Kievan Rus, was a loose federation of East Slavic, Baltic, and Finnic peoples in Eastern and Northern Europe from the late 9th to the mid 13th century. Okay, forming the basis of Ukrainian identity, reaching its height in the mid 11th century. Cloth Ross gradually declined until its collapse from the Mongol invasion. The Mongol Empire invaded and conquered Kievan Rus in the 13th century, destroying numerous cities, including It tells you there, Moscow, and the only major cities escape instruction was whatever that country is, right? And in the 13th century, okay, over the next 600 years, the area was contested, divided, and ruled by a variety of powers, including the Polish, okay, Lithuanian Commonwealth, Austria, Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. Okay. Now we talk about the Ukraine now, the regions in Ukraine. Okay, Ukraine has always been unstable, man. Okay, because people are fighting over it, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it was an annex to whoever power it was, right? Because it's near the water, man. Okay. So, People's Republic on okay. Um, Ukraine National Movement for Self-Determination emerged, forming the internationally recognized Ukrainian People's Republic. 23 June 2015, the short-lived state was forcibly reconstituted by uh, the Bolsheviks, also known in English as the Bolsheviks, where a far-left revolutionary Marxist faction founded the Lenin that split the Marxists from the Marxist Russian Social Democratic Labor Party. Okay, so then into the Ukrainian Soviet Social. So they were Soviets, for a long time, man. You know what I'm saying? Or at least part of the majority of them were. You know, and so like I said, you can go ahead and read on with this right here, and just go to Wikipedia and go to Ukraine and read this information yourself. And then this particular region right here, as we described before, all of this region right here is part of the I guess I want to say part of the Ottoman Empire, all right? But it says because our fall, and it's showing you exactly when it took place. But I'm not gonna get into that. Again, and then we have the annexation of Crimea by the Russian Federation. Now we want to pay close attention to the wording of this, okay? And we also want to get off into the background, all right? So those you have time and patience and stuff like that, we're gonna look at this, but I would really like for you to go into the Wikipedia and then look at this particular header and research this information yourself because it's very important and it allows you to understand why Russia has went into Ukraine and invaded in the first place. Okay, so it says here in February and March 2014, Russia invaded and subsequently annexed the Crimean Peninsula from Ukraine. Now, this happened a long time ago, so they always been battling for this stuff, right? But we're gonna go back and find out why all this stuff took place. All right. Okay, this event took place in the aftermath of the Revolution of Dignity. Okay. Now they said the Revolution of Dignity, also known as the Maidan Revolution, took place in Ukraine in February 2014 at the end of the Euromedian protests. Okay, and as part of the Russo Ukrainian war. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So they've always been fighting. You know, this is nothing new. Russia running up in Ukraine, man. This is nothing new, man. They've been doing it. Okay, but the reason why you haven't been hearing about it because we've been in Afghanistan for the last fucking 30 years, right? In the Middle East. So now, since that's winding down, now we're gonna start looking at this. You understand? Now we're looking at Ukraine. What I'm talking about. And because they're trying to take the attention off with the Middle East because they didn't really burn that out. So now they want to go over here. Okay, take people focus off that. But you got to understand is that's bullshit, man. You know what they're doing. But United States have no business over there, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at the fact that okay, they've been fighting over there, and as you see, for for like 20, 30 years, man. You know what I'm saying? They've been going back and forth. And you didn't hear anything about it. Okay. It wasn't in the mainstream like it is now because the Afghan war and the stuff that's going on in the Middle East, the terrorist act, all this stuff like that is happening. So they focus on that. Well, all this stuff is going on over there in Europe, man. Okay. So now since we didn't burn that, Middle East out. Now we want to take and then look at the Russia or Russia. Well, okay. My whole thing is that okay, we ran up in Afghan, all right, ran up in the East, third, we know we couldn't be, we knew they couldn't beat us. We went over there with all that high power shit, man, and bombed the shit. How come we won't run up in Russia and do the same damn thing, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking like we really looking like bullies, man. You know what I'm saying? We really looking like bullies because we run up in these third world countries, man, and everybody, yeah. We kick them dark skinned people's asses, the Muslims' asses and shit, But then when here's Russia, they, if you look at it, the way the Middle East and the facets of Islamic facets that ran across the Middle East, which they call them ISIS, whatever you want to call it, they ran across there trying to reclaim the territory. United States went over there and started fucking bombing, doing the shit. Well, Russia's doing the same thing. How come the United States not going over there and bombing their ass? How come the United States not doing, I don't understand this, man. How come the United States is not doing the same shit to Russia, okay, as ISIS that they did to ISIS, you know what I'm saying, you know, running through the Middle East, man. I just can't fathom that, you see. And, it's like, okay, them are your cousins. You understand? All these people in America, they are descendants of those people over there, man. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm quite sure it's a delicate situation because you got people in America, man, who still have family over there. You see, so you know, United States don't want to run across, run up in Russia, man, because you have a lot of Russians living here. Um, you have a lot of people, Russians living in a lot of other regions, a lot of countries, and stuff like that. So what you gonna do? You gonna treat them like ISIS now? You gonna treat them like terrorists now? You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, all of them so-called individuals that you saying that you cut off Russia and cut all these people out and just okay, so you still got people that look just like them in this country, man. I'm talking, and they speak fluent English. So I can walk outside and see Europeans. I could call them Russians, man. Like they look at these, I know these Muslims say they terrorists. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, man. It's the same fucking thing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking like you can call them Russians, but they be offended. But they look at the Muslims, call them terrorists, and they're not supposed to be offended. You see, you understand what I'm talking about? Which is bullshit, right? Okay. Again, so Russia annexed Crimea. All right. So what you want to do really, okay, we're gonna go out here, and like I said, you can read all this information yourself, and then and then we're gonna go into Crimea, Khanate, and you look at this area and see, you can understand, number one, okay, a lot of the regions that Russia's trying to reclaim has been, it's basically, um, to me, it's like a lot, the regions that they're trying to claim, it's Islamic, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the fact that what's going to happen when they run up in this place, man? You understand? United States going there and look, oh shit, they Muslims. Okay, majority of the population is Muslims over there. Okay, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Now it's gonna make it look really stupid. First we fight the Muslims, and now, what I'm saying, we on their side fight against our cousins. You know what I'm saying? So now states have to take a step back and say, okay, well, we're gonna have to rethink this whole scenario because we look like, you know, what the word I'm looking for? We look like what's the word when you uh um well, I think of it. You make yourself look bad. Okay, and so they're trying to cover their tracks and stuff like that, so they look and they say, oh shit, they're Muslims, so they want to show the world, hey, listen, okay, even though we fucking stumped y'all asses in the dirt, we're gonna go back over here and help these Muslims, man, in this country. Now they ain't showing us they Muslims because the reason they're not looking at them because the Muslims that is over there look like the Europeans is over here. Okay, the only difference they Muslims, man. You understand what I'm saying? They look white, as they say. I don't like using the word white, as some of you know. I say um, um, I say European Americans or Europeans because they all come from that region, and I don't say racist because I think that that just put people in a very derogatory state of mind and a hateful state of mind. I say instead of saying racist, I'd say culturally ignorant and socially incompetent. So I mean, by culturally ignorant, you don't want to do like I'm doing right now and finding out about the culture and learning about the culture and find out why things are going on. And socially ignorant is the fact that you need to get out there and talk to these people, man, and learn more about them. Okay, but you got people out there who don't want to do none of that, so they are culturally ignorant and socially incompetent. Okay, so that make them have to take another step back and say, okay, well, I'm socially ignorant, okay, and socially incompetent, and that's on an intellectual level. Okay, so again, we're gonna go back and then you look at this whole region, and like I said, a lot of this region, all right, is Ukraine, and see how it changes the name throughout time. Okay, it says in 1783, violating the 17 treaty of this of Küçük, okay, which had guaranteed a non-interference of both Russia and the Ottoman Empire in the affairs of Crimean Khanate. The Russian Empire annexed the Khanate, okay. So what I mean, they just created they just created they just put it to the side, basically. You understand what I'm saying? So you know both Russia see, they went to war, man. You see what I'm saying? Russia and the Ottoman Empire went to war. So, which guaranteed a non-interference of both Russia and the Ottoman Empire in the affairs of Canada. This is like saying, okay, in Africa, the whole region of Israel is owned by and it's owned by an African, sh- you know, man, okay, a Muslim Islamic man. But due to the fact that it's occupied, by military forces, they can't do anything about it because then it'd be an act of war. So as long as military is there in Israel, right? You know what I'm talking about? Occupying that region, there's nothing these Africans can do, okay? Unless a foreign force come in and pushes them out, which would be an act of war. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So at the same being, they have a treaty with the African rulers over there that Israel is sitting on their land, and they say, okay, well, you can come and go as you please, but don't disrupt the 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 well being of the people that's here. You understand? So it's like you got property, and the government put people on your property, and you can't kick them off, man. So and the same thing going over there, right? Um, I was given some type of example of this whole scenario, right? And the example of the scenario and I'm gonna get off on this peace treaty thing as well. And this whole example of the scenario is if you, I know there's babyfooting it, but if you had a business, okay, and let's say you had a company and your company had like 30 trucks, okay, and then you have certain individuals that came into business with you or came into business, you let them use the truck, so that they can get back and forth to work, so that they have to do private thing. Of course, you get people, they want to do their little private things, help people. And this person, they went did the offshoot to start their business, but they needed a truck, right? So what they did, after a period of time, they kind of left the truck at home and came and picked up another truck. You understand? Because let's say they was fixing it. But in the meantime, they had the truck set on the sign, and it could have been sitting on the sign for months because it wasn't being fixed. But they went back to the company and got another truck to do deliveries for the company that he actually helped create, or the company he was working for, right? And he started using that. So the truck that they had sitting the sign that he had to get fixed, let's say he kind of like started putting so much money into it that he put a name on it. He's still, let's say he's still using the company name, but he's paying insurance on the truck. Okay. So one day a person say, well, listen, man, what happened to that truck that you was using? Yeah, I said, what truck? He said, well, the truck that you was using, gave him a serial number and said, okay, yeah, well, I was, I kind of like, and they said, well, why's your business name on there? Okay. He said, well, I didn't put money into it. I'm paying insurance. I did this. I fixed it. And I did all these different things to it, And, I don't think you have a right to take it. You know what I'm saying? I had it all these years and this and that. He said, but it still belong to us. This is the thing that Russia's going through, right, with that region in in um, in Ukraine, man. So this always been ours, man. Yeah, okay, y'all went over there and we let y'all do what the fuck y'all want to do with it because we had our other problems going on other places. I'm saying we didn't want to put our troops over there and shit like that, and set up, you know, they didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want, okay, you go ahead and manage your own thing. But as time went on, they started, you know, doing backdoor deals and stuff like that, with other countries and things start getting out of control. So Russia got to go up in there again. Got to go up in there again and try to get shit taken care of, right? Okay, so what we want to do, we want to go about like the peace. What's the difference between a peace treaty and an armistice, right? Okay, it says here a peace treaty is an agreement between two or more hostile parties, usually countries or governments, which formally ends a state of war between the parties. It is different from an armistice, okay? Okay, and it says here's an armistice is a formal agreement of warring parties to stop fighting. It is not necessarily the end of the war, as it may constitute only a concession of hostilities, while an attempt is made to negotiate a lasting peace. Is that what they did during the Civil War, man? To us? You see what I'm saying? Was there was there a treaty? Hostile parties, usually countries and governments, which formally ends a state of war between two parties. Is different, okay? A surrender, which an army agrees to give up arms, or a ceasefire, a truce in which the parties may agree to temporarily or permanently stop fighting. The art of negotiating a peace treaty in the modern era has been referred to as a legal scholar as the whatever you call this, and I'm not going to that, with a peace treaty potentially contributing to the legal framework government the post-conflict period. Okay, all right. So, and you can read into that to figure out that, and like I say, you can go and and learn more about these different things. I really feel that we all should understand this different thing. So, um, even though I don't think there was a really a peace treaty, right, between Russia. Yeah, I mean, it was an armistice signed, and all of this does is says, okay, the armistice day is just saying, okay, well, like it says here, right, is a formal agreement of warring parties to stop fighting. Okay, it is not necessarily the end of the war. So they're saying that they're still at war with each other. They just stop fighting. You understand? So there's still a high level of tension, right? But that the armistice is saying that we're just gonna stop fighting. The war is not over, man. So they're saying that the war between Europe and the rest of the world, what I'm saying, it's never stopped. They just stopped fighting against each other. Okay, you understand what I'm talking about? So it says that in 1953, Korean War uh, armistice agreement, okay, is a major example of armistice which has not been followed by a peace treaty. The armistice is also different from a truce, right? Okay, a ceasefire, also spelled ceasefire, okay, is a temporary stoppage of war in which each side agrees with the other to suspend aggressive actions. Aggressive action. Historically, the concept existed at least by the time of the Middle Ages. Okay, truth of God. Okay, all right. You see these different things, man. You need to read these things. right? You need to read these things. And then they got international law, also the public international law and the law of nations, a set of rules, norms, and standards generally recognized by binding between nations, establish a normative guidelines and a common conceptual framework of states across a broad range of domains. You see what I'm saying? So you need to understand these things, right? And again, you can go out here and you can look at these different websites. One is, Peace Treaty, look at Peace Treaty, and the other one look at the armistice, okay? And we're gonna move along, all right? And like I say again, I really um, recommend that you go out and you research this information so you understand exactly what's going on. Okay, and then we're gonna go into this right here, and then we see the Crimea right here, and you can tell this whole region, you know, and this is Ottoman Empire, it says here. All this region was ran by Russia, man. Even up into, all, well, Ukrainians, man. All this area was Russian, man. You understand what I'm saying? All this area was Russian. All was controlled by Russia. Okay, so you know, and this is like in the age, and it says this right here was the Ottoman Empire, man. So when the Ottoman Empire, right, when they really, um, when the war happened, basically what they did was they just stopped fighting. Okay, you understand? They just stopped fighting, and when they stopped the fighting, they just said, okay, we're not going to fight anymore. What we're going to do, we're going to sit here and we're going to wait for you to come in and take this shit back. You understand? Which is pretty horrific, right? And that's basically what's going on right now. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So, um, so we got this. Okay, we got this. Okay, so now we're gonna go into go back into this. Okay, so we went to here. Did you explain the slave? We did that. So there's a slavery at the time. So now we're gonna go into this particular area here, slavery. All right, and it says slavery is a tie that binds blacks and dissidents of pre-revolution Russia. Okay, so we're gonna look at that, right? And here, um, and I don't want you to think that African Americans should support, with Russia's uh, idealistic views, anything like that. But all I'm stating is that um, there's a lot of different things that's going on Earth outside of the United States, and which we have a structured society, and a structured society is basically to divide people into different facets of groups, and some people or some certain cultures have been stigmatized and set aside for lesser shares of the pie. Okay, so you can read this, right? And like I say, it's a slavery or tie, and you can read this. I'm not going to go on all off into this different information. I can scroll down. You can stop the video, and then you can read all this information, everything like that. Um, and it tells you exactly, what's going on. Like I say, they have always been African Americans in Russia, fought for the Russian army. You had African Americans fighting for the German army. You had well, not African American. You had Africans fighting for the Nazis because they were part of that movement. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is that this is called Boule, episode one. Now, I'm going to sparse through this so you can have an idea what's going on. And then I'm going to move on to my closing. Okay. And I want you to hear what this they say. And I just want to make sure that I'm getting all of this. So, excuse me, bouncing around like this. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm getting this. Okay. And I want you to pay close attention to these figures, man. And the impact they had on the black culture.
The mysterious society of the Negro. Defining this group has evaded us all. Who are they, and what exactly is their purpose? When addressing this group, the most essential element to grasp about identity is understanding the society known as Boule is a predominantly black fraternity, but unlike most fraternities, is not collegiate. Becoming a member of this fraternity is contingent upon several qualifications. Among the most paramount is excellence of performance in one's field. There are only 5,000 members of Sigma Pi Phi, otherwise known as the Boule. Since the inception of this fraternity in 1904, several dozen of the most well-known so-called black
And I want to make sure
of the
that
past century were and are members. It is considered a great honor to become an archon of the Boule. Members range from W.E.B. Du Bois to Colin Powell, and from Kwame Nkrumah to Martin Luther King. Contrary to the perceived notoriety, the purpose for this group, however, is perversely sinister. The miseducation of the Negro is more than just a book by Carter G. Woodson. It has been a philosophy of American colonialism unto this day. And an essential part of this philosophy is using quasi-classically educated Negroes as harbingers for the black masses. Carter G. Woodson being a prime example, whom has been labeled by the establishment the father of African American history. Woodson obtained his PhD from Harvard in 1912, where only he and W.E.B. Du Bois were the only black men to achieve such at the time. And at the same point, both of these men would become members of the Boule. One would think by reading Carter G. Woodson's somewhat unapologetically black and African-centered writings that he would have been considered radical and controversial to his white contemporaries. But if it weren't for these so-called white contemporaries, the Carter G. Woodson name would have never seen the eyes of the public. Most of his opposition came from black contemporaries who saw his amalgamation of American blacks with African culture as an erasure of history. As the case may be, the narrative states Carter sought funding in order to continue his endeavors into the establishment of a Negro-centered historical foundation. Inadequate of funding himself, he then turns to the preeminent perpetuators of Negro miseducation for financial backing: the Carnegie Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, and the Julius Rosenthal Foundation. These foundations were created by some of the most unscrupulous businessmen in American history, yet these foundations would fund the spurious new black.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. Okay. There's another thing that I wanted to cruise through with you, and you can actually look at this yourself. This is Esther Amnumu Forham. And this woman here, she, as it states here, she grew up in Black Nazi Germany. And what it is that people, there's a lot of people think that Hitler was a racist, and I say that, which is incorrect. Um, Hitler was not a racist at all. He believed in separatism, just like they do in this country as well. Okay, but there's a reason for that as well. I didn't go off into Hitler's background. Okay, I didn't go off into what was Nazi, how did it evolve, and all that stuff like that. You know, what the perception of socialism or Marxism, anything like that. I didn't go into none of that stuff. I'm just listening to Africans that was living there during that time and what were their ideals while they were going through that region, while they lived there during the Nazi time. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through this, and I'm gonna skip along so you have understanding what's going on.
He decided to, when he was 20 years old, he decided to go to Africa. When he went back to Africa, he brought back an herb, and out of this herb, he made um, toothpaste and tooth powder and also tooth water. So he opened up his own factory and was very successful.
This is in Germany,
After a number of years, things
Hamburg.
went bad and he went bankrupt and lost all the business. And then he went back to Africa and never returned. In the meantime, I I have another sister. I was the oldest one there, and I often have to look after the children.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and speed along a little bit.
And they really remained with me throughout my life. But it was very traumatic. I was the only black child in the school, and at recess time, it was very very traumatic and very hard for me to go out and face all these children because they had never seen a black child before, and they were always gathering around me and touching my hair and touching my skin. And so this went on for quite a quite a while until the teacher decided to kick me inside during recess time. So
I'm gonna move on some more,
he always stood by me, and
and I want to go into.
um, well, it was
Let's see.
but other than that, we have there was no any that we were treated badly, that we couldn't go anywhere, couldn't go places that it was just like when we were children, we couldn't participate. But other than that, we could go any place we would like.
See, this is in Germany, right? See how it was in Germany during that time. You know, Africans was allowed to, was able to go anywhere they wanted. Where in America, Africans Americans weren't allowed to go into European stores for that. But during that time in Germany, in Europe, Africans was able to go anywhere they wanted. You understand? But see, then you got the Europeans in this country try to get us to turn our back on the same country that welcomed us into their society and didn't treat us the way Americans did. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand that. I don't understand why African Americans are siding with a lot of things, when it doesn't make any sense to me.
She didn't do it all by herself. You know, it was something Oh, I was far away. I was far away. I did see it, but I was far. I was so small, I had to peek through, and they wouldn't, whenever you wanted to get closer to it, they would just push you back. What do you call this? They all hold hands, and yeah, yeah,
See, so Africans was allowed to,
that was about the only time
able to go and stand there, and they weren't saying you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. I'm talking like, and I don't understand this, man. Where they get the thing about Hitler, man. I understand about them and the Jews, everything like that. You know what I'm saying? But
No, I never did. Well, I really didn't. I really didn't. I never thought about it, and it was never really. We were really more concerned as the war, when the war started. We were all very much concerned about, having enough to eat, because things were beginning to, putting on rations. And but other than that, there was never. I never had any problems that people would say you can't do this or you can't come in here. For most of the Germans, we were dark skinned, and it was always something special to them. We were always
you see that?
special.
The Africans very special to them.
The extra nice. So all during the war, I never had any problems. Yes, I do, because I had a girlfriend, a very close girlfriend of mine. We grew up together.
So, and we're gonna go on.
Away from them. They took, and she had a meantime. That was in 1939, 1940. And I remember we would meet, we grew up together.
And we're gonna go.
My girlfriend's brother. They were twins. Yeah,
And we're gonna move along.
because my mother said, I don't want to die. I don't want to die in the bomb shelter. If they drop a bomb on the house,
And they talk about Europe dropping bombs on Germany and why they were there.
slow down. So she always stayed, and my sister and I, and lived in another part of town. It was just me and my sister, and we would always go into the bomb shelter and wait, until it was clear. Your older sister married. Yes. She married a black man. Could you say a little bit about the black community? Well, there wasn't really a black community. They were all, the black people who lived in Hamburg, they were, were all scattered around in different places. There wasn't really. Where were they from? They were all, most of them were mixed. They were African men who were married to German women.
And this was in the time when Hitler was in there.
But my sister. Well, oh yeah, I have to say that. The marriage, well, the marriage that took place, during earlier time, before Hitler came, that was fine. But then after, during the Hitler time, they weren't allowed to get married. They could live together, but they weren't allowed to marry.
You see what I'm saying? They were allowed to live together, but they weren't allowed to get married.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. They lived together, but they weren't allowed to get married. Even my sister had a hard time, and her
Okay, so I'm gonna get out of this. So this is so this is what I'm getting at, and um I just want you to understand that you know it's a shame what's going on right now. Okay, and I'm coming to a closing to our series here. Again, I want you to go out and research this information yourself. don't just take my word for it. Go out there and look at this stuff, right? There's a lot of misconception about Africans in other countries and stuff like that, and even during the time of Hitler in Russia, you know, Africans aren't treated the way the Africans are treated here in this country. I'm not saying all Europeans are against African Americans. That's not what I'm implying at all. You know what I'm saying? Because I really get along with country boys, and some of them they come up, they don't like us because whatever. Once you get to know them, they get used to you, and they know you're not offended and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff is just funny, But then people who's not participate, African Americans not participating in humor of these country boys like that, who really don't care to be around. At first they don't like, they won't hang with you, but they go out and drink with you. You understand? And I was like that in a lot of different places, man. I was always, after I left Detroit, because I was in a very dominated African American community. I never grew up with Europeans at all, so I wasn't subject to any racial discrimination, anything like that, like my parents and grandparents was. So by the time I went to the military, I seen certain things, but it was more of like, you and I gonna disrespect me. It wasn't like, well, you're saying it because I'm black. I never had the perception. I never had the perception of Europeans. I looked at them like, you can't kick my ass. You know what I'm saying? I beat you to death. And I never, looked at things in retaliation. I looked at retaliation to African Americans, just like African Americans retaliate on the European man if you came in our neighborhood and stuff like that, and try to beat up African Americans, man. And so I looked at them the same way. It's like, if you in their area, you behave yourself. They came in our area, they behave their fucking self, man. You know, you can't go anywhere you want, man. Act anywhere you want. You know what I'm saying? Because of course and you can't call this a racial issue, man. It's all about discipline and respect. You know, so if you deemed as being respectable, of course you're going to people don't like you. You have the area I come from, the Boston Edison district, where the Fords own a large percentage of that area, and now there's Europeans moving in the area. There's an area where I used to live over there. It's like Dexter and Boston area, and it was a very bad area. And matter of fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it up. Well, I'm not going to bring it up. It's an area. I'm going to bring it up. Okay, I'm just going to bring it up so that you can see it, right? And what I'm going to do is I am going to say Google Maps. I'm going to Google Maps, and like I said, I'm going to close this out. But I'm going to show you, for the sake of, because I'm promoting my community, right? You know what I'm saying, in Detroit, and I would like to see more people of that have money that can come out and you know contribute to Detroit and the community that I came in. Okay, our air was really rampaged during the riots, but it's getting better, right? You know what I'm saying? And I encourage investors to go out there and take hold of this area, because secretly there are a lot of Europeans, and I'm not saying that, and I think there are a lot of Jewish people. They're claiming that whole region back, man. And when I went home a couple of weeks ago, I've seen it, and I was looking at it in this area. Let me see. I'm going to go back. Let me see. In this area that I lived in growing up, okay, I went over there and I was like, who are these people? Right? You know what I'm saying? Over here. And my one of my let me show it to you here on the map. Um Now, okay. Now, those of you who never been to Detroit, okay, I'm gonna show you some things right now. Okay, let's see, come on, later. This is kind of running kind of slow. Okay. Um this area here, Hamtramck, this whole Hamtramck is a very heavy populated Middle Eastern area. You have Polish, you have people from all over the Middle East, along Europe, non-English speaking people. You know what I'm saying? Russians, German. This is what they all want. This is where they start right here. They come here in this area. All right, Hamtramck. and they have a lot of ethnic foods and everything like that, you know. So I encourage you, if you from like if you're from the Middle East, anything like that, most Middle Easterns know about this area here. And then they got Highland Park here all the way out. Is is very nice. Um, okay. You have downtown Detroit, right? Downtown Detroit is very safe. You know what I'm saying? Corktown is an upper scale area here. It's basically what they call it Greek town. It's very protected, very nice. All along the this route here, along the waterfront is very safe. You know, of course, you got crime, but it's not the crime that they talk about in the past. Okay, but I'm gonna go off back into the area that I grew up in. Um, and I'm gonna explain to you um, where the a lot of Jewish people is taking over and they buying all this area, man. And it's amazing what's going on, right? So I'm going here. I'm trying to go here. I'm trying to find the area. This is West Grand Boulevard. This is the Clover Line. Let's see, where is it at? Stopo. Uh, I'm trying to find the area. Okay, because I think it's back over this way. Oakman Boulevard. What's this? Wyoming. West Grand Boulevard. Um, I'm trying to find the area. Plymouth. Griggs. Let me see. Dexter. Let me see if I just type in Dexter. Dexter Avenue. Okay, we're gonna go to Dexter Avenue. I could have did that before. Okay, so um, this area here used to be. It was, it's still bad, right? It's rough over here. Okay, all right. And what's happening now is that people talk about this area, okay, from and see the thing about it is from this whole area from Davison. Well, I'm gonna go a little further. I'm gonna say from you got Davison, Doris. So this whole area right here is pretty rough, right? You know what I'm saying? Because when the factories close, a lot of things close down. But I'm gonna show you something, right? Now, I grew up, right, on the street here. Okay. Dexter and Calvert. And I'm gonna see if I can get um, this view here. This is going to sign that view, okay? And okay, come on. Okay, I grew up in this area here, or I grew up on Calvert, right? This is the home that I grew up in here, right? There used to be houses all over here, but they tore down during the crack epidemic. A lot of people moved in these homes right here, and they tore them down, right? And it just ravaged this. This used to be right here's a Catholic church. It's still there, but it's not a Catholic church anymore. And this is all run down, so that okay. But when I went home, this street here, see this place right here, okay? They, the Jews bought this place. Hold on for a minute. Shh. Okay. Okay. The Jews bought this home right here, and they worked on it for a long time, right? And they wind up buying all these houses and all these houses, and they coming in here and they about to buy this whole area right here. They are buying all of this stuff, man. They buying all of okay, right here across where I lived at right here. They bought this house, they bought this house, they bought this house, right? They bought this house. Okay, in this street right here, they bought this house. Okay, they bought this house, they bought this house, they bought this house. The Jews are actually they bought all these homes, man. They buying all these homes right here. I went over there, and you see cars over here, and you see these Europeans over there, and they're not poor, man. Okay, and they fixing all these homes up, right? They fixing all these homes up over here, man. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And they secretly buying all this property up, and the rent is like they said it's going for like $1,500, man. Okay, they're not letting low income people back in this area, man. Okay, they buying all this property up and they fixing them up, and the government's getting them tax write-offs. Okay, so those of you who's trying to make some money on real estate, I really advise you to go in this area and start buying houses, start fixing them up. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because they're doing it. All right, they are doing it. All right, you see them driving around here. You see, Europeans driving down these areas right here. They're looking at homes, everything like that. I'm talking about it ain't just a few of them, and we're not talking about no broke back ones. We talk about people of have a lot of money. And there's an area over here that I'm gonna show you. Um, it's this whole area right here, and I'm see Chicago. You had this Rochester. This is Boston. Okay. Back over here. Okay, in this area here, and I'm going to talk about this is Chicago. This is Chicago. Make sure. It is Chicago. All over here, down Chicago. Once you get past, what's the street here? So to clear up a little bit. I think this is Linwood. Okay. All this area right here, once you get down this way, you got to have money, man. All these are mini mansions. Some of these are 15-room apartments, homes, man. Okay. The Fords owned all this stuff here. All these homes over here are huge. All right. Are huge, man. And the Europeans have actually moving back into these areas right here. And you can't, and you got to have money, man. Their homes look like $250,000 each. Okay. Right here on Chicago. And, down this area right here. Okay. The Boston Edison, all these areas right here, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't even move in these homes anymore without money. Okay. They buying them up. They buying them up like hotcakes. And now they moving across Linwood, right? You know what I'm saying? And they moving across Linwood and they coming over here across Dexter now. So that's what I wanted to show you. Okay. So all of you that feel like, you want to buy a property, you want to make some money, whatever the situation is, I really, and get into this prospect. Um, this area right here, this building right here, they want some I think my friend tried to buy it. They wanted like 2 or 3 million for it. It's a black African American family owned this right here. You know what I'm saying? Prime, prime place. That's why they haven't tore it down, right? Try to buy that. These homes over here, try to get them. If you can, make deals, man. I'm talking like you will never forget it because in the next 20 years, you're gonna be kicking yourself in the butt if you don't go out here and buy this property, man. Okay, gangs are gone. You know what I'm saying? I went over here. There's low crime. It's sporadic crime over here. It's not like it used to be. I was over there. There's people walking around at night now. There's no, it's just not. It's not the same over here anymore, man. Okay, so um, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so what I'm gonna do basically, I'm gonna go ahead and go back into what I was talking about previously. Um, I want you to, you know, like and share my video again. I know I went this a little long, everything like that. Like and share my video. Make a comment. Click the bell to get alerted whenever there's create other content. and you know, and like I say, like, share, click the bell, and put in a comment. All right, and help me by donating to my effort on my blog site. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And again, I'm going to go ahead and go through my captions again, and I'm gonna make sure it's doing it so that I won't be doing it for nothing. Let's see, make sure it's doing it. Nope. So I got to go over here. I got to pull over here. Okay. So again, you can go through my blog site. Okay. This is the end of Intellectual Awareness Series 2. The topic Russian Ukraine War. What do you think? Again, you can. These are the different references that I have pertaining to what I was talking about. Um, you can look at these references and you can go out and research information yourself and come up with your own conclusions and comment. Okay, I really um, encourage you to comment on what's going on. Okay, and again, this is Jeff Founded Enterprise, been administration, information system consultants, and you can go to my website and find out more information about my company and what we can offer what services we can offer to your company. And you can go out to my business blog site for business information and news at www.tapatalk.com/groups/Shephard Enterprise. And if you would like for us to assist you in your business endeavors and activities and help you get your business going. If you think about starting a business, we can help you. Have free consultation. You can contact us at 614-680-0536. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. And hopefully, I will talk to you soon.